Hello chess friends, and welcome to Azarov's chess channel, and welcome to my chess tactics and chess puzzle series. So I've already done 3 of the possible 16 chess tactics, and today it's time for pawn breakthroughs. And a pawn breakthrough, it's basically happening often in an endgame, but in one example I'll show you that that's even possible, of course, in a middle game. And here I already set you the position up here, so it's white to move. But let's first of all see the position here. We have here by white a so-called nice pawn structure. It's a really healthy one, because you see we only have here one pawn island. Meanwhile, you see black has two pawn islands. He has one here with his 3 pawns, and of course this one with this isolated pawn. The other advance that white here has is this advanced pawn on the 5th rank. You see we have already occupied the 5th rank with our own pawn, and we are sort of blocking out this backward pawn by black. So of course you see the other problem for black is here that he has this king here on c6, and he is a little bit far away from his own pawns, and of course the king cannot defend all of the possible pawn breakthroughs. So if you would like for yourself to solve first the puzzle, then you should pause the video and try to solve it, and then after that I will show you the solution. So please pause the video. So of course the right move here is the move e5, and you see now if your opponent plays here the king on d5, then you have simply this move e6, and we have now created this so-called supported pass pawn. You see it's a supported pass pawn. We don't have any pawns here that can stop the e pawn, and of course it's supported by this f pawn. And I've talked about this supported pass pawn in my basics in chess video, so I'll show you the link to that video at the end of this video, and you can see more about supported pass pawns. And this is now one position in which we've created such a dangerous pawn. And of course it's a losing game for black now, because there's no way that the king goes here maybe through e5 and then f4 and capture these 2 pawns. Of course the black is here stuck to the defense of the threat of promotion here, so the next move by black must be the king on d6. And you see now the king is now only a defensive piece, and he has to protect this potential e7 move. So now we simply play with our king, king on d4, now maybe b5, and we have now h5. Of course we are just waiting now black to play something, and after king on c6 we can play here king on c3. You see again king on c5 to play in this sort of opposition is not possible, because then we simply play e7, and you see how dangerous in an endgame this supported pass pawn is. So now black must play king on d6 again, and then you have simply king on b4, and this is now a winning game for white, because you will simply take the pawn in a couple of moves. So let's see the continuation. If after e5 we have here f takes e5, then you see we have created here now this position 3 on 2. We have here a position 3 on 2 pawns, and of course you see it's a problem here for black, because he's too far away from its own pawns. And we have now the move g5, and if we have here h takes g5, then we have this f6, g takes f6, and now we can simply play forward with this move. We have created a pass pawn on the h file, and of course it's unstoppable for the king. Black can try maybe here king on d5, but you simply go forward. As a move as e4, you have king on e2, and here maybe f5, you simply again go forward, h7, f4, and of course you promote the queen. After moves as f5, you have king on e3, and of course the queen with the support of the king will take all of these pawns. And of course it's a winning game for white. So let's see now another position. Here is the position. We have here the situation 4 on 3 pawns, and of course it's already a winning game for white, but you have this nice tactical shot already. Here you can play the move f5, and now let's see the possible continuations. If king takes on e5, now you have f takes g6, and after f takes g6 you have bishop takes on g6, h takes g6, and you have h7 and h8 unstoppable. So of course again it's a winning game for white. Now we have the possible continuation here. If f takes g5, then you can play simply with your king here on f4. Black has to protect now this very weak f5 pawn, and then we have here bishop on c4 check, bishop king on e7, and then you simply again have this nice tactical shot with the g6, again a pawn breakthrough. And here we have, of course, after f takes g6, you see again h takes g6 is not possible because we then have again this h7 outpost. We have here f takes on g7, and then you have bishop on g8, simply going now after all of these pawns. And if the king comes on f8, you have bishop takes on h7, king on f7, and now you have king to g5. You see again the threat to take here the pawn on g6. Now we have bishop on h5, and then you simply can take here. After bishop takes on g6, you have this very nice move e6, deflecting the king from the defense of the bishop. King takes on e6, we have king takes on g6, f4, we have h7, and of course this pawn will be captured by the queen, and again of course it's a winning game for white. You see the problem of this position is you see black has all of its pawns here on the like squares, and of course we want then to have this light square bishop which can attack all of these pawns. And you see this light square bishop, it's basically just to defend this 3 pawns. And of course you see white has here a very nice pawn structure with this, on dark squares, and of course we want then to have a light square bishop. So when you're going into an endgame, you see you should try to have your pawns on the opposite colored squares than your bishop. So you see this is now a perfectly example here with white. He has a light square bishop as said, and of course his pawn on the dark squares. So that the pawn breakthrough is possible in a middle game. I'll show you here. This is a game that I played my own, so this was a game I played a couple days ago, and that's why I decided today to do this pawn breakthroughs, and you'll see how a pawn breakthrough is really possible in the middle game. So here I played the move b5. I just wanted to break through here somehow on the b file, creating some weaknesses and occupy the b file. And my opponent played the move e3. And now you see, first thinking of course by any players to play knight on f5. Then we have maybe knight on f5 and bishop on f5. And it's an unclear position because then white can maybe take here and play the move b3 and somehow block out here the queen side. But here I decided to play the move b takes c4, and now my opponent of course took the knight, and now I've created here a very nice pawn structure with these 3 pawns in the center. And not that I only created this nice pawn structure, it's also with a tempo on the knight, and I have an open b file and attacking this very weak b2 pawn. And meanwhile you can see now because I didn't trade this knight on h4, now white has also a very weak knight on h4, and now you see my pawn breakthrough. My opponent played the move knight on e4, I played knight on e4, bishop on e4, and now I have even f5 here. You see now this pawn structure is really something here in the center, and it's a flexible one, I hope you realize, because there's no way to block out this pawn structure. Now my opponent played again bishop on g2, and now I have even again a attacking move on the knight. So g5, knight on f3. You see again e4 again. Just in every move I'm just attacking my opponent, and he's really blocked out by my own pawns. Although I'm a piece down, but you see this pawn structure is really unstoppable. Now he played knight on e1, and now I decided to take with the rook here simply the pawn, and after bishop to c3 I played rook to b1, and now you see it was unstoppable here. Moves as c3, d3, and of course this pawn is also weak. So in a couple of moves I managed to win the game. So of course, and now the most fun part for you, this is now the chess puzzle for you to solve at home. Again, I'm pointing out you have here the tactical motif of a pawn breakthrough, so think about it, and here's why to play and to win. So meanwhile, you can watch all of my chess tactic puzzle videos, and you can also watch my supported pass pawn endgame video. And this game that I've shown you from the middle game was played by our Carlsbad variation, and of course you can watch also my video from the King's Indian Carlsbad variation. And of course don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thanks you for watching, guys. Chess is the best.